This is part 2 of the sales tax and VAT tutorial, and here we'll be covering the concept of VAT. Now, I know many of you will have a few doubts in this part of the chapter, and it's probably because it is a bit tricky to understand the first time. You'll have a lot of questions regarding stuff like where does the money go, how exactly does it work, but those will actually all get cleared by themselves if you understand the concept. And I don't blame you if you don't understand the concept on the first go. I was in your position a year ago, and I do think it's pretty tricky. So I'm going to try, and based on how I did it last year, I'm going to try and put in a simpler form in this tutorial. So the first thing, the basic thing in this part of the chapter, you need to concentrate on the full form of VAT. That's value added tax. This term actually holds the key to this concept, and especially these two words, tax. You all know what it is. We just said sales tax in the first part of the chapter. Now, value added tax. Now, say you have a shopkeeper or a trader, you can name him anything. I'm going to just make a box, make a person inside. Okay, this is your shopkeeper. I know it doesn't have to look like one, but that's him. Now, how it works, even in real, is that this shopkeeper, he doesn't actually make the stuff in his shop or something like that. That's the job of the factory or the manufacturer. At the factory, just take any product, for example, just take any food item. That manufacturer will make that product in its factory, make it in numbers of hundreds, thousands in bulk basically, and these will then be distributed amongst all these traders and shopkeepers who in turn will sell them to customers like you and me. So over here we can write factory or manufacturer, you could write anything, and on the right hand side you have customer. Now in many cases, in most cases actually, there'll be another maybe one or two links in between. Maybe you'll have a trader or another distributor or a wholesaler or something like that in between, but just for simplicity right now I'm taking just one person in between. Now the factory makes the product and sells it for a certain amount. Let's just name it X for now. Don't get confused with the X's and Y's, trust me, it's very simple. The shopkeeper, now you need to understand from the shopkeeper's point of view. He buys from the factory at rupees X. You can imagine any price you want, and he will sell it for say rupees Y. Now, the whole purpose of him being a shopkeeper, the whole concept of a shopkeeper, is that he needs to make profits. So he's going to add a bit of value to this price. That's X, the price that he bought it for, and he's going to sell it for a larger price. That's the only way he's going to make a profit. So we can say that Y is more than X. If Y is equal to X, then he's going to make neither a gain nor a loss. And if Y becomes less than X, then he's a very nice shopkeeper to know. And also, he's be making huge losses then. So Y is always more than X. Okay. Now, when you talk about the chain, the selling chain, now you just need to bring in this concept of sales tax. We've done it in the last tutorial. Sales tax, say it's S%. It's S% for a given state or a country or a certain area, something like that, or a city. So S%. Now to find the sales tax on anything, all we do is S by 100 into that article's mark price or discount price, that doesn't matter right now. So this is what we do, assuming that X is the price that we need to calculate tax on. Now just apply this concept over here in this chain that we've made here. The shopkeeper buys from the factory. Just imagine him as a normal customer or consumer. He's also buying it from someone. Now that someone is a factory, and that factory is also going to charge him tax. So in addition to X, he's also going to have to pay S by 100 into X as tax. This is his tax that he has to pay. Now the same thing happens when you, the customer, are buying it from him. He's also going to charge you tax, just like the manufacturer charged him tax. I'm using factory and manufacturer interchangeably, don't get confused, I mean the same thing over there. So customer also pays tax. Now his price is Y over here. So instead of X, we're going to write Y. And that is the tax that the customer pays. Now just imagine this box as a computer or any machine you could take. Now all of your machines like computers and TVs, they take a sort of input. When you're switching channels through your remote on your TV, that's giving input to the TV. And what it does, it gives you output. So it'll change the channel for you. Or when you type, when you give your computer a print command, that's giving it input. It gives you output in the form of the printout. Think of it like that. That's why this value over here, the first value, is called input tax. I'm going to write it all the way here. Input tax. Because that is what you're giving to this whole box here. That's a shopkeeper. Input tax. That's what the shopkeeper has to pay. And then similarly, this is your output tax. I'm just gonna write output here. Now, the only formula in this chapter, very basic formula, is this. The tax paid to the government by the shopkeeper is his output tax minus his input tax. That's it. If we write it in the form of these variables, what we'll get is sy by 100 minus sx by 100. Take the LCM and take the s common. You can write it like this: s into y minus x upon 100. Now, this is what he pays to the government. Okay, now don't just learn up this formula. Just learn this output minus input tax, because this can be a bit confusing for you with all the x and y. Now, I'm going to tell you, just link this to value added. The shopkeeper will buy it for a certain value, that's his cost price. He'll sell it for a certain value, that's his selling price. And in order to make profits, he's going to add value to that object. So his selling price will be more than his cost price, which is what we said over here. So now the value that you add is actually, if you look at it, it's y minus x, his selling price minus his cost price, which is actually his profit if you look at it. That's the value he adds to the object. So now this term over here, value added tax, and you have sales tax over here. Just apply sales tax to the value added. How did we do that? We put this little formula over here. S by 100 into whatever you're putting the tax on. In this case, we're putting the tax on y minus x. So let's just put S by 100 here. That's actually your value added tax. This is multiplied here. That's what you get when you put the definition of value added and tax over here. Compare it now. Link these two up. They're the same. This is just the main, that's all there is under that. I know it looks confusing when you have those flowcharts where it says manufacturer, trader 1, trader 2, trader 3, shopkeeper, consumer. This is the main concept. And you'll see when you do a few sums, it all just fits in like a puzzle in the end. And this is the only formula you need to know. That's it. And it's not at all. And if you don't get it, you definitely shouldn't give up on it, because I remember that in our board exam this year, I think we got it was a whole 3 mark giveaway question in section B, and that was along with two very simple questions. So if you get this concept, it's brilliant, because then you just have a clean path through. So uh, I'm going to continue with, I think, one or two questions in another tutorial now. So that's it for this one. If you didn't get it, you can replay the video. If you still don't get it, then you could probably just contact us. I'm pretty sure we should be there and we can help you out over there. So, but that's it for now. This is the only thing you need to know. Just forget about uh, how does the shopkeeper pay that much to the government and all that. Just know this formula here: output minus input tax, which is what he pays the government. Okay, and also one more important thing: if you have a whole chain like this, what you will actually see is that the tax that the customer pays is the sum of all the the taxes paid to the government. Say the shopkeeper pays something to the government, and say the factory pays something to the government, because they both have added value. This sum, if you add all of those up, this will be equal to the sales tax of the consumer, and it's you'll see it when you do the sums. But that's it for now. I'm going to continue it in the next tutorial.